Chloe, this time it's the Shaman attempted murder case, a story I heard from Korea. It's a record of a vicious gaslighting, exploitation, and horrific torture that happened between two shamans who were as close as divine sisters. Park Kyungnim, an alias, was a normal housewife, a loving husband, a son, and a dependable older sister, Sumi, an alias. She had a life anyone would envy, but her life began to unravel a few years ago when her mother suddenly became a shaman. Not long after, Kyungmi was told that she too had inherited her mother's spiritual gifts. As she was struggling with this new identity, a woman appeared in her life like fate. Her name was Bosal Kim, an alias, another shaman 10 years her senior. She embraced Kyungmi warmly, telling her, "You and I are sisters, chosen by the same gods." At Bosal Kim's suggestion, the two started a YouTube channel together called Junggundang. It became popular almost overnight, but this was just the prelude to a massive tragedy. At some point, Bosal Kim began demanding money, saying, "We need funds to serve a greater god." First, it was all the income from their channel, then she demanded Kyungmi take out loans. She also cleverly isolated Kyungmi from her family. One day, Kyungmi's husband gave her a small gift. When she happily told Bosal Kim about it, her expression reportedly darkened as she whispered, "Kyungmi, that's not love. It's a ghost attached to your husband trying to enchant you to block your spiritual power. The moment you accepted that gift, your spiritual power weakened. Don't contact your family for a while. This is all for you." Kyungmi believed her words as if they were a divine revelation. When her worried sister Sumi called, Kyungmi was already a different person. "You don't understand, sister. This is all for my son's sake. I have to stop the bad energy attached to you before it transfers to my son." Kyungmi isolated herself and offered up nearly $100,000 to Bosal Kim. When the money dried up, Bosal Kim's exploitation became more blatant. She forced Kyungmi to work as a karaoke hostess. When she refused, saying, "How can a shaman do such a thing?" Bosal Kim's warm face instantly twisted into a demonic mask. The horrific abuse began. She would slap Kyungmi's face and pull out her hair, claiming she was exorcising the demon of pride. And she would laugh at her pain, saying, "The one that's hurting isn't you, it's the demon inside you." And finally, in October 2023, the hellish incident occurred. That day, the money Kyungmi had earned from the karaoke bar was about $50 short of the target amount. That's when Bosal Kim's madness exploded. She threw Kyungmi to the floor of her shrine and began to tie her hands and feet with cable ties, and she tied the other end of the restraints to a cat tower. Chloe, can you imagine that? A human being tied to a piece of cat furniture. For 3 days and nights, Bosal Kim beat her, starved her, and deprived her of sleep. After 3 days, when Kyungmi was barely conscious, Bosal Kim got scared. She called Kyungmi's mother. "Mother, you need to come get your daughter. She's not eating and acting crazy here. She's polluting my shrine's energy. Come and clean her up quickly." Hearing the words, "clean her up," the family, seized by a terrible premonition, raced to the shrine. When they saw their daughter for the first time in 7 months, they were speechless. Kyungmi was just skin and bones. Her body was covered in black and blue bruises, and her hair was crudely chopped as if cut with scissors. The hospital results were even shocking. Both eardrums ruptured, a detached retina, 4 broken ribs. Her body was completely broken. Kyungmi is now recovering in a hospital, preparing for a long legal battle. But Bosal Kim denies most of the abuse, saying, "I was a good sister who cared for her. All her injuries were self-inflicted." Chloe, this isn't just a story about one person exploiting and beating another person. It's a cruel and cunning crime story about how someone can dig into the most vulnerable parts of the human soul, faith and hope, and destroy a person's entire world.